Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Germany, you can keep crying right now as much as you want. You are, I think, the result of whatever the situation you are in. This is a result of your leaders, clonk clonk, elected officials' decisions. And not really elected officials. Some of them are not elected. Some of them are appointed by the elected official. So I'm talking about the chancellor, and you have secretaries of certain kind of ministries or ministers, and those ministers are not elected, are appointed. So they are just people that supposedly know what they're doing. That's what they want us to believe. So what happened here? Now Germany is crying for Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines. See? Maybe you want to find out who did it and point out who did it, so you can find out that person should repair them and you can have gas again. Or maybe start having gas. Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 blown up. By whom? Well, play idiot, and then you're going to have no more gas coming to you. Therefore, your industry will be shut down. Not according to me, according to your official here. So let's see what's going on here. Bloomberg. Germany warns of industry shutdown if Russian gas stops flowing. Well, this guy is a weasel that I covered in other of my videos, some other of my videos, and he was very tough on the Russians. Like Russia that, Russia this, Russia that. And now, I think he's a minister of something, what's his name? Economy minister, right here. Robert Habeck. He was the one saying that the Russians' assets should be, taken and given to whomever he thinks they should be given to, which is very, very fair and honest, very German-like. It seems like, not obviously. All right, Bloomberg. Germany may be forced to wind down or even switch off industrial capacity if Ukraine's gas transit agreement with Russia isn't extended after it expires at the end of next year, according to Economy Minister Robert Habeck. So, Germany receives gas now only through a gas pipe coming through, seems like, Ukraine, or at least the main volume of gas. And Russia has an agreement that it seems like Ukrainians and the Russians still follow and agree with that agreement to, according to some fees, Russian gas will transit Ukraine and get to Germany. That contract that was signed before the war is gone, expires. That means these guys have to meet again and rediscuss how much. And what do you think is going to happen? First, probably they will not meet. The Ukrainians probably will meet at the pressure of the West, but the Western countries, but they will ask for more money and like a bribe. And then if they agree, they would ask the Russians, okay, Russians, we want it for free or something. And the Russians say, we're not going to send you for free. Therefore, probably it's going to be something like this. The Western countries, in this case Germany, will pay the Russians for Ukrainian transit. You find out, that's how it's going to be. The Ukrainians said, we're not going to do it. We don't need it. And the Germans will not be able to convince their thugs over there. Why? Because that's the way it is. Remember the Mujahideen in Afghanistan, 1979, 1980s, remember those ones? Were armed by whom? Now, those Mujahideens, freedom fighters in Afghanistan, which, they were freedom fighters, some of them, turned into what? What organizations? Come again? Okay? And then from that one switched into what? So you see, those guys you can't control because they are as they are. So keep supporting this guy over there. That's fine. These guys are going to get your money. This guy I'm talking about, Zelensky and others over there. How they're going to say, you want gas? You pay for it. We're not going to pay for it. And these guys that will come and suck Zelensky's thing to get their gas pipe. Why? Because they have no alternative. They don't have Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 pipelines. So good job. You joined the big plantation. You've been on the big plantation since, 1945 actually, to be more precise. So great job. Now you need those pipelines. And what are you going to do? As I said, you're going to bribe the Ukrainians to get Russian gas to that. Because the Americans, and not only Americans, The rest of the world cannot supply you with liquefied natural gas at a premium price even, because of the Green Party and the environment and other groups that oppose you. These guys in the West, they think that they will have the same standard of living, high standard of living, and their little soybean latte, and then, you know, they think they're gonna have all that with the renewable, with the wind blowing, with the sun shining, all that. Well, let me break the news. I have 1% trust in that would happen. 1%, not even 1%. I gave 1%, so I don't give 0. You know, all your standard of living will decrease. That's my assessment, 99.9%. But you, as a crybaby, they will not want that. And when they're going to start beating them in the little butts, actually not little, you're going to see how they're going to come and say, what happened? And these idiots are going to maneuver the whole thing, and they go, so because of that, global warming, Russians, Putin, what do you want me to do? You have to have less. And you see, a brat deals with having less or being told no differently than a person who reasons and is a little bit more self-disciplined. And you're going to see who's going to be the one, and the police is going to, I guarantee you, go on. And what they're going to do, save space and no violence, bam, bam. You're going to see what the police is going to do to you. The repressive how do you call it, forces of the Western countries, of poo 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 with rubber bullets, and that's exactly how it's going to do. And these guys are going to be like, I can't believe what happened, and they're going to direct and say, you know what happened is Gigi's fault. Let's hate Gigi. The 5 minutes of hate started 1984 Orwell's dystopian novel. Oh, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Okay, now go and work. No, free stuff. Who's paying for my latte? Free stuff. That's how it's going to be. I just gave you a little video, a little theatrical representation of the future. We'll meet again. Now, let's go back to this article here. So, Headback, who is also the vice chancellor, issued a stark warning Monday at the economic conference in Eastern Germany, saying that policymakers should avoid making the same mistake again. So he still continues to be an idiot. He will not look at the issue in an objective way. He looks at it as an ideologue, as a paid guy, of assuming that the economy will be unaffected with precarious precautions to secure energy supplies. So rules on sharing the burden of potential gas shortages, why is that burden? In Eastern Europe would have to be respected, meaning Germany would have to export gas there to offset the deficit, and manufacturers in Europe's biggest economy could have their supply restricted or cut, he added. There is no secure scenario for how this will turn out. Okay, how did you get to this point? You got involved where they told you to get involved. Habak said at a forum in Bad Zaro. Additional capacity, including a planned LNG terminal in Germany's north coast, has provoked opposition from locals and environmental groups, the ones that I just showed you, will therefore be essential to maintain supply to both Eastern Germany and Eastern Europe, he said. Despite the full-scale invasion of the country by Kremlin forces in February last year, blah blah blah, Ukraine is still earning transit fees by allowing Russian gas to flow through its territory to countries like Austria, Slovakia, Italy, and Hungary. Even if some supply continues beyond 2024, it's unlikely that the current transit agreement will be extended under similar conditions, given the lack of political support, according to a report by the Center of Global Energy Policy published last week. Direct negotiations between Ukraine and Russia on the extension of the transit contract looks highly implausible in the current environment, according to the report's author Anne-Sophie Corbeau and Tatiana Mitrova. Говорит по-русски or something? Anyway, so what we have here Even if, let's say, Germany doesn't get any gas from, how do you call it, the Russians, the gas that goes into the Eastern Europe, if that transit is cut, which I think the Germany still gets from the Russians through the Druzhba pipeline, which is, again, and not only, you're going to find out. You're going to find out when they needed the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2. And they're going to say, well, the Russians are blackmailing us. I think the Russians will sell you as much gas as you want. I think they will turn their butts towards you and start farting in your direction right now. If you just have to ask for gas, they will send you the gas that way too. So I think it's just you yourselves, and that happened with all this joining the sanctions on Russia on something you had nothing to do with. But they said, the master said, you got to do it, and they did. That tells you how independent they are in the foreign policy and other areas. Well, as Lavrov said, I'm sorry to paraphrase him here, is that when the Western Europe will become independent in its foreign policy, then maybe we can really engage in a direct, honest, conversation and debate and negotiations. Because he said something like, as long as all these things are dictated from Washington, we just don't need to talk to you. We just go to the decision-making entity. And I think that's very accurate to what's going on here. Well, how about that Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 pipelines? Who did it? We still don't know. It's going to be a year pretty soon, and we still don't know. Isn't that strange? But we know exactly who destroyed the dam in Ukraine. The next second they said, oh, the dam was blown up. We knew exactly it was the Russians somehow. But here, man, who could that be? And then they said it was the Russians. You know why? Because the Russian has supposedly benefits the most. Che bono, remember that? Che bono, who benefits the most out of it, which I doubt. But anyway, let's say if you use that logic, which you should use as the first lead, who might benefit out of this the most, then if you look at Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 pipelines and ask the same questions with these guys will never ask, you get the wrong political answer, if you know what I mean. Therefore, they're not going to use this logic here or this question, but they're going to use it here. That means you don't have values, that means you don't have justice, that means you don't have principles when you use all these things preferential and situational. So yeah, you want some gas? I can send you some gas as soon as I'm done with this video. I'm going to just keep the window up, turn around and through the pants, or you want me to, either way I can send you in, how do you call it, and love for you guys. You just shot yourself in the foot many times. I told you that. And your elected officials, the ones that are your employees, are creating all this. They didn't have to get involved in all that BS. Well, they did. So congratulations. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.